Hi there, welcome to this video. This is Tina from TinaHeals.com. And if you have an Aries ascendant, a Virgo moon, and a Gemini sun, then this is your video. So the ascendant, okay, so you have your ascendant in Aries, which is cardinal fire, male. You have your moon in Virgo, and you have a 6th house moon, okay, which can be problematic. And moon is in fall in Virgo, of course. So it's an iffy position of the moon. Let's hope you don't have too many hard aspects that can lead to a lot of issues with your childhood, your mother, even your emotions and how you connect, or stress, anxiety, and lots of things. Okay, but the 6th house is also hidden enemies. Yeah, I'll get to that. You have your moon in Virgo, which is female, which is mutable, earth. Now you have your sun in Gemini, okay, which is your 3rd house sun. So you're definitely a boss at communication. 3rd house sun also could mean that your father traveled a lot. The sun is your father. And Gemini is again mutable. So you've got 2 mutable signatures. Gemini is air, masculine. So mutable, so much mutable energy means you could be easily impressionable. You could be very restless. A lot of changes in your life, okay? Now, let us understand the ascendant before we discuss all the signs in great detail. So the degree of the zodiac rising on the eastern side of the horizon at the moment of your birth is your ascendant. And the sign on which it falls is your rising sign. So the ascendant is basically the sum total of you. It is who the world perceives you to be. When you walk into a room, people see you through the filter of your ascendant. It is the Jungian mask that we wear to interact with society. It is how we come across. Okay. So with an Aries, fiery, restless, impatient energy, when you walk into a room with your purposeful stride and very piercing, penetrating eyes, and you're not afraid of eye contact, you're not afraid to stare down an enemy, intimidate an enemy, you're not afraid of the chase or asserting your dominance, because that just goes with the territory, it's Aries. You're not afraid to speak your mind, and you don't care about who it hurts or what happens because you opt out of XYZ, a relationship, a communication issue, whatever. You're not bothered about that. You're more interested in yourself, okay? And that is not so bad, because Aries is the infant of the zodiac, and there will always be a selfishness to this energy, okay? It is the infant. So, infancy and growing up is not easy. There are growth pangs, teeth pain, and so many things that happen when we grow up. It's not an easy process, not for anybody, and that's for our growth. So a lot of the lessons in shadow work that you have to do with an Aries has to do with this infant growing up. And because selfishness is a part of this infant energy, eminent astrologer Stephen Forrest says that the goal of Aries should be enlightened selfishness. You can't do without that, but how do you use that energy? How do you utilize that? You're a trailblazer, pioneer, okay? You're here to start something new, because when the soul enters Aries after the 30th degree of Pisces, which is the degree of archetypalization, the soul enters Aries with a mini big bang, and everything is born anew. Even when the sun enters Aries, there is spring in the northern hemisphere, and the promise of life begins, is renewal. Aries is actually considered a death sign in esoteric astrology, because you die to be reborn again in the agitating fires of Aries. This is not an easy energy. It's ruled by Mars, the god of conflict, war, strife. But also remember that Mars is not just all these things. It's also our I do principle, our action principle, our male yang impetus to go and conquer, proverbially conquer. Okay, now the Aries energy asks for authenticity. It's very authentic. It doesn't put on any masks. So they may appear brash, they may appear, you know, uncaring, you know, they may lack empathy. It's because they see it how it is and they say it how it is. Now, as Aries is also linked to your appearance and Aries rules the head, this part of you comes very much in focus. It's a big part of your identity. So you may have shortish hair, you may wear glasses, you definitely like to slap on some shades if you don't have glasses, and you like to be assertive. You have sharp nose, you have thin lips, narrow chin, prominent cheekbones. You tend to wear your hair short even if you're a female. You just have more masculine energy with an Aries ascendant. So your body structure may also be more masculine. Okay. Now, there's tremendous impatience and restlessness with Aries. So it's always about grounding this energy, yoga. The Virgo moon, that's something you can directly tune into. Okay, Virgos are the yoga bunnies. Also remember, you have a 6th house moon. Now, this means there could be issues with health, and the moon is in fall in Virgo. So this is not a good placement for the moon. Moon in analytical, Mercury ruled Virgo it cannot express itself, cannot connect, is very harsh, critical, judgmental. So that is also something to be mindful of and ground and connect to your emotional body. Okay, and even with Gemini Sun, emotions, definitely you have to connect to your emotional body, otherwise you will just, you know, not be whole. The process of healing is becoming whole. Your Mars is your traditional ruler, Mercury is your soul ruler. So Aries is not just about conflict, but in higher vibration, it's about the higher plane of mind or manas, higher wisdom. Okay, and Virgo is also ruled by Mercury. So wisdom, the pursuit of higher wisdom is definitely something that you need to do. Having Virgo rules the digestion. So 6th house Virgo moon, take care of digestion, what you eat. Moon is your mother, your habits, your patterns, your childhood, how you connect, how you emote, the deep emotions within you, you know, who you are when the Jungian mask comes out, the mask of your ascendant, you know. So if you're not careful, if you have a difficult Mars, maybe you have a Moon and Mars conjunct in Virgo, and that could mean migraine, head-related problems, ENT, persistent acne, eye power, you know, stuff like that. So that's something you've got to be careful. Don't give it to hypertension. Now the thing with Aries is often they question their inherent worthiness. Okay, if you don't move with your soul karma, you may question your inherent worthiness. And Virgos are known to question their worthiness. Okay, they're so hell-bent on seeking the problems in a particular issue that they can't look beyond it. Aries is very fast, you have to remember, a lot of fast metabolism, and Virgo is your digestion. So you should have a well-proportioned, nice, slim figure, because you also have a Gemini Sun, 3rd house Sun. So, you know, it's good, and you probably don't put on a lot of weight because you know what to eat. But incorrect eating can give you migraine, as I said, a lot of other issues. During your hard aspect of Mars, be careful of accidents, fires, guns, driving under the influence, heavy machinery, and all that. Your impulsiveness can get the better of you, right? And Virgo moon is not impulsive, right? So that's really good. It is great. They're very sincere. They're not the kind of friends who will, if you know the Virgo moon, they are very sincere people, very sincere. But with your Gemini Sun, you may not always appear to be. But Virgo moons generally are very, very sincere. They will, if you are their friend, they will tell you how it is. And even Aries like to tell you how it is. So Virgo, you have to understand that Virgo is about acknowledging the temple that is the body, okay? To truly understand that the Christ principle, the Christos or Krishna resides within the body, and the body is just a womb, and the soul is just stating within this womb, right? It's very, very important. So body must be kept pure with the Virgo moon, okay? And Virgo's ruler Mercury, Virgo's soul ruler is the moon. So you have your Virgo moon. That moon veils a planet, and that is Vulcan, the goldsmith of the gods, that hammers the souls and you know, turns them to gold, alchemical gold. So Vulcan deals with the alchemical process. Now, have reverence for your body. Virgo deals with the physical body and healing and health and service. So having a sixth house, hidden enemies, your everyday work life. So you're definitely into service, okay? Emotionally, you get fulfilled by serving. But your Aries moon, Aries ascendant, and your Gemini sun can make you very restless. Very, very restless. So much so that you don't stick to anything. But Virgo is very good with detailing and with sticking to things, okay? And sticking to things is important with your Aries ascendant and Gemini sun. You don't tend to stick to anything. Now you have to understand that Gemini, okay, sun in Gemini is a strong position, ruled by Mercury again. So you see how you're having a double whammy of Mercury. Soul ruler of Aries is Mercury, ruler of Virgo is Mercury, and ruler of Gemini is Mercury, and the soul ruler of Gemini is actually Venus. So it's about artistry and soul artistry. So that we'll get to. Sun is your father, your outward goals, your projection of your internal chi. It's the magic you create in this world. Sun in Gemini, third house, all about communication. Siblings could be strong. Your father may have traveled a lot. Your father may have been two-faced, may have been just really analytical and really, you know, conflicted. Gemini, two twins. So higher self and lower self, okay? So the thing of Gemini, the soul lesson of Gemini is actually to build a bridge, or the Antakarana, okay, which brings back messages from the spirit world into this realm. And you're so much of Mercury you have to deal with, so you must understand the soul lesson of Mercury. Mercury is known as the psychopomp, a guide of souls, a bringer of information. So you are here to communicate with style, and maybe move on to new things, initiate new projects. Third house sun wants to communicate writing. Gemini is about our you know, basic education. Sag, the polarity is about higher education. You know, you're always learning with the Gemini sun and Aries ascendant, and your Virgo moon fuels this need to complete. Gemini is not good with completions. It doesn't know anything about completions, okay? So that is something you've got to realize, and you've got to quiet the lower self. The two Castor and Pollock, the higher lower self. You've got to quiet the lower self to hear the higher self. And you can be of service, you can write books, you can be a blogger, you can be in the medical. But remember, Virgo is about medicine and medical stuff. So healing. A lot of surgeons are Virgos. Virgo moon, meticulous in detailing, very good with their hands. So that was a bit about Aries ascendant and Virgo moon and Gemini sun. Hope you like that. Comment, subscribe, share, and let me know what you think. Visit my website www.dinahins.com.